Hi, I'm Karen Hart, and I'm the chair and founder of the Disabled Artists Foundation. And it's been a long time coming since I figured out how I want to do this video for you guys. And I think the best way to do it is completely and totally without a plan. I know that sounds silly, but the easiest way for me to share with you how I art through my funk, and that's what I'm going to call it. Some people call it darkness, some people call it heaviness, some people, it's just wherever it is when you're in a space. And that's what I'll refer to it as because I don't like to give it a name. I have markers, a 4x6 piece of white paper, lighter than, maybe this would be the light cardstock. Nothing fancy. What made me decide to do the art today is I came across these that were freebies that came along with some stuff that I had ordered for artists, which are disabled artists in our program. And they're little vinyl stickers. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to use it, but it definitely made me go, I'm going to make an art video today. These are watercolor pencils, but you don't have to have anything fancy like that. You can have just regular colored pencils. Dollar Tree kind of colored pencils and Dollar Tree kind of markers. That's all good. Anyway, so let me take you through what's in my head. So when I say I'm in a funk, I'm in that space with all the dark and muted colors. And when you think of the word funk, take your colored pencils or whatever you're using. You may even have, I happen to have these nearby too. You may even have watercolors or paints or whatever moves you, whatever you want to work with. Hey there, Arlene. But these are my funk colors. So you know what? I'm definitely going to use my funk colors in there. Now ask yourself, what are your happy colors? They don't have to be what everybody else's happy colors are. And I'm sorting my colors into categories right now. Okay? Because I want to put the funk behind me. So the funk's going to be my initial doodles and background. Okay? Now I need to choose my happy colors. And the key to creating art that really helps you in your well-being is to make you think about it. It shouldn't be super easy unless you need to get into that headspace of super easy to relax. Some people need that, and most people need the opposite. So what are my happy colors? Well, for most people, it might be different colors, but for me, green's one of my funk colors too. Yeah, all you green lovers, I'm sorry, it's one of my funky colors. Okay, well, that doesn't leave me with much, right? So what are my happy colors? My happy colors really are blues and yellows. If there was a purple in there, purples are in my happy colors too. And so these are my, when you're in the funk, and you're trying to pull yourself out of the funk and you end up with you're overcompensating. These are my overcompensating colors. Whether it's, it's not anger because I'm not one of those that gets angry. But it's more like, I'm not saying I don't get angry. It's just not common. They're more like I'm not cheery. I'm not in a funk. I don't know. That's just the colors I don't feel like playing with today, right? Hey there, Susie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the colors I don't feel like playing with, and they're going to be my highlight colors because they exist, but I don't want them to exist a lot in my world right now. Okay. I just have to embrace who I am with my little funk colors and talk to you about what I do when I completely art without the plan. Well, the first thing I do is I think about shapes because I don't want to draw a thing. I want to just focus on the art for the sake of art. And one of the things I know actually brings me release and joy is, well, first off, my preferred size to work on is 4x6. So one of the things I actually enjoy is grabbing something nearby and looking at it and asking myself, what do I like about it? And I think I like the little swoopy doodles right here. I think I like how it swoops down. But one of the things when I'm grumpy is I just don't like pointy things as much. I find that I like curves when I'm grumpy. So let's do some curves. I mean, the first thing I want to do is, let's do an oval. I'm not using this like watercolor pencils, y'all. I just want to do an oval. And sometimes my funk has extra weight to it, so let's not make this oval a single thin line. Make the oval different. You know what? If you can't draw a perfect oval, squiggle it, wiggle it, embellish it, doodle it. You know, however you want to do it, because I don't draw perfectly. It is what it is. It'll come out however it chooses to come out. And I just grab another funk color. And if you run out of funk colors, keep repeating the other funk colors that you have. So if you're in a funk, you know, maybe you're feeling sick. If you're feeling sick, don't worry that, you know, your teacher in 3rd grade told you red means angry. It doesn't have to mean angry. You know, whatever your colors are that bring you into that space. You know, maybe you feel the color red when you're not feeling well, like a sickness, an illness that's recoverable. Maybe you feel green when you're feeling that chronic pain. You know, whatever your thing is, that's what you do. Don't worry about other people's things. You know, now I need to feel better. So I'm back in my circle. So I'm just going to draw another circle. It doesn't matter if it doesn't connect perfectly. It's just another circle. Hey there, Cheryl. And so, I'll try to get rid of that funk, and I'll grab another one. You know, even green just gets me in that space, but it's just regular pencil. What is that? I don't have my glasses on, so it's, oh, well, look, I have glasses on my table. How exciting is that? Let me see. Yeah, it just says HB. That's just a regular pencil. You can do all this with a regular pencil if you want to. You can do any of it. But I just want to do little loopies. Because like I said, I'm in a funk and I just need to doodle. That's my thing. One of the nice things about working on 4x6 is whatever your doodle is, even if it's completely and totally abstract, which usually my doodles can't stay in abstract. I end up with something on it that's not abstract. But even if it's completely and totally abstract, you can find text to lay over it and a focal point, whether you draw it or you collage it on there. Maybe you're a mixed media person. Whatever you end up doing, you don't worry about it being perfect. In fact, imperfect is what you're looking for, because the space you're in, you're arting for your own form of, for me, this is my form of, I don't want to say, this is not art therapy, but this is like my form of release when I do this, you know? Art therapy is its own special little thing. You know, and now I just want to create another shape. I can feel myself forcing the lines. I mean, forcing the curves. And all my brain wants to do, well, I'm going to force one more in here, I think. I'll just put a couple circles like this. I like things in 1s, 3s, 5s. I like odd numbers, so it's odd that I did a 2 right there. It's kind of odd. But I'll probably end up doodling it in or something. Enough about the future. Let me just keep thinking about them now. Okay, so I'm really done with the circles and the ovals. I get to my sense of reality, and for me, lines. Lines are one of those things that tell me I know exactly what I'm going through right now. And if you can't draw a straight line, it does not flippin' matter. Who cares if you can't draw a straight line? I can't draw a straight oval. You know, it's perfectly fine. Do whatever it is you do. And so I'm just going to see, well, you know what, I need a pencil to kind of figure out where that other line is. But where it comes, oh, did you see my pencil broke? So now we're going to make this line messier. And just go with it. It's whatever the paper wants to have happen or the pencil wants to have happen, right? What do I want inside of that? It almost looks like a little bit of a shadow or something. I don't know what I want inside that. You know, I'm a big person of the flourish, you know, like I have stamps nearby. Right, so when you see squiggles and flourishes, all that stuff, I like that stuff. It doesn't have to have purpose, it just has to squiggle. So what I'm going to do in here, I think, is give myself freedom to just squiggle it just a little bit, right? And then I'm going to be done with all my funk colors. So I'm just moving these squiggles, and I can't forget about the edges. So let's say I want to do a full one like that. Sometimes squiggles need its own little arc. Or spiral or whatever. There's like that little flare thing comes up. And I'll do dots too before. I guess I did my straight lines already, huh? I'll do dots too somewhere because that's a thing I like to do when I'm just thinking. Pull this one up from the corner. Let's create a little loop. Send you back to the corner. That's because you need to look in the corner. I think that's kind of nice. I feel like it doesn't have to have that edge, but I do want to finish this one up to the corner. Right there. Yeah, that's good. And like I said before, this is whatever it wants to be. Let's just put some lines. It wants lines. I guess it needs a little bit of sparkle. And I think what I want to do is just give it its own outline. So instead of coloring my lines, I'm going to make it, I'm just making the shapes that my body wants to shape and doing it with the colors that I feel like I feel. If that makes sense. I'm not necessarily making anything. This is my funk space art, if that makes any sense. Let's just give this other line. And to copy me is to not feel your own emotions, right? So don't, I mean, I suppose you could if you wanted to, but try to feel your own emotions. The color and the shapes that you want, the squiggles that you want, the lines that you want. Shade it however you want. All of that, right? I suppose the smarter thing to do would be to do this with my glasses on. Do you see a person? So my funk has made itself out, become a face. Does my funk have a name? I mean, I'm sure I don't know why, I like calling it funk. Seems less permanent. All the other words feel more permanent. Does anybody else wipe off stuff that doesn't exist? Like when you're using a colored pencil, you're wiping off something that doesn't exist. Oh my word. All right, so let's send you there. Oh, we need to outline that too. Send you back. That means till I run out of space. Oh, it didn't run out then. Right. And up top, I'll do the same thing. It definitely doesn't have to be perfect. Truly is my favorite size to work on because sometimes it's daunting to work on something big. But I have heard folks say it's sometimes freeing to work on something big because you don't have to limit yourself to the space. I actually find, those junk journals or the art journals or the little pieces of art that are ATC size or tiny, those are hard for me. So I tend to work in a bigger space and cut it down. But it's funny that I care so much about the unspace. Hey there, Chrissy. I also find it funny that one of my funk colors made like a little star to it. I start to ask myself when I'm doing these kinds of things, do I see myself with a pattern of one thing or another? And when I'm done, I can usually tell that I feel just a little less in that dark space when I'm creating. And sometimes a funk doesn't have to just be pain related, y'all. It can just be whatever it has to be. The key is to just go with it. This reminds me of like in school when you were little and you're going around the drawing that you just made and deciding where to put that little edge. In this space, I'm probably not going to do anything about shadows, but I might. I mean, if I was going to sit here and craft for a very long time, then I probably would do something with that. But given that I'm probably just coming on here for a little bit to just show you what my process is with shapes, maybe your shape, then ask yourself. And I'd like to ask all of you, and that way if someone's rewatching this, they can see that there's different ideas. Do any of you have a shape that when you put it down to paper, it's less stressful than another shape? And it can be anything from, a diamond to an oval to a circle to a figure eight or infinity, whatever people call it. It can be a squiggle. Some people feel comfortable with lines. Have you ever seen those people who are absolutely amazing at shading with crosshatch, which is where you have the lines going one way and then the lines going the other way? I'll do that in a minute if I feel like it. I just don't feel like doing crosshatch because the lines just make me cranky. So I'm trying to stick with the stick with the stuff that makes me less cranky. So you can tell that even though I have 2 lines on this whole page, that's really it. I'm trying to stay away from my cranky, even though I'm coloring with my funk colors. shades of dirt and trees and leaves and lettuce, you know, all that stuff is my funk colors. Oh, that's awesome that you got that into the. Oh, I love basil. That is like one of my favorite. That's a happy food for me. All right, so now I'm going to go around my circles. I don't know why I ended up with so much of this color, goldenrod, today. For some of you, it's the favorite color, so you're probably like, oh my gosh, how can you possibly have goldenrod be one of your funk colors? You know, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't even know the answer to why I'm using watercolor pencils instead of colored pencils. You know. I suppose in some worlds you're asking me, well, which kind of watercolor pencil do you have? I'll tell you in a second. What do I have? Prismacolor, watercolor. That's one of these. Right, so let's just put you here for a bit. I don't know that I want to color inside these circles yet. Just let them be. I like the shapes. See, look at that. I like the shapes when you trace the inside of something, like the real shapes. Oh my gosh. Yes, shapes with sharp lines agitate me too. I mean, I don't mind this, you know, the pointy point because I'm connecting the squiggles. I don't mind that so much. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Certain things are a little agitating. Although, I'll give you this. Here's a funny one for you. Maybe it's because I don't mind shapes like this, but I kind of like cat ears. There's something fun and entertaining about drawing cat ears, you know, or a cat in general, that it's like instantly a good space. So maybe we'll draw a cat. Don't expect my drawing skills to be anything that would warrant me running an art organization or anything, because I am by no. Oh, that's the hubs or the phone call. So you're going to hear me on the phone for a second because we got a screw in our tire today. Hopefully by now we've got a screw loose, but let me call him back while I go on mute and doodle. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. He called to let me know that there was a potential storm coming from Naples up north here. So I decided to do a little cat You know, this is where I like the shading of things, but you know, let's just give this cat an attitude. I mean, cats don't really have eyebrows in the same way, but we're going to give you an eyebrow, right? And they don't really have eyes in the same way, but I'm going to give you an attitude eye. That's what we're going to do. I just feel like that. See, I told you I end up with a thing instead of just shapes. I start talking about cat ears and we end up making, let's make a cranky cat because I'm just kind of, yeah, that's where he's going. He's going to have a cranky cat. And there's a cat giving you a dirty look. Does that even need another eyebrow? Like, where would I put the other eyebrow here? Let's just put it down low like that. That's what I say. A little cranky cat. Yeah. I do think you can't really make a cranky cat nose, though. They're just too darn cute, even though they're freaking triangles. But this guy's going to have its own little catitude, right? So let's put that. You know what he needs to be holding? I know I've seen this somewhere in my life. I know I've seen it. He's holding a coat hanger. So I know this idea is not original because I can picture it in my head. You know, we've got this upside down coat hanger right here. That's my cranky cat. I really have a look at my cranky cat. Oh my word, it's a cranky cat. He's so doing his thing. Oh, what do you want to do? How do you twist the coat hanger? Let's just twist it and send it down that way there. He's just hanging in there. What he's doing. Gonna put his little thingy right there. He should have like a better mouth than that. I don't know. Let's give him a better mouth. And let's give him some of my color that makes me cranky color. Let's give him a mouth because I messed up that little spot so it works. And so he's just holding the coat hanger. And that's just pencil. Yeah. We could bring this ugly color back and give our coat hanger like one of those things that you have, you know, when you go and your coat hanger has a little pant rolly thing. And that's what it is. So your pants don't get the crease of the wire hanger. Yeah. It's not the perfect shape. It'll be fine. It got stretched out. How did it get stretched out? You know, what's the cat holding on to? Oh my gosh. What if we go into one of our happy colors, right? The cat is holding on to, I need a better color than this. Do I have like a, say, look at me, I'm back to, that's black. I don't want black. I don't want green. I don't want green, and green. How come they gave me so many dang greens? All right, we're going to do a light green. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do you guys remember those Coca-Cola glasses from like a long time ago where, I don't mean the Coke bottles, I mean the glasses that have Coca-Cola written on the side, and did any of you ever do a rubbing of it? Yeah. You know, so the cat's got his coat hanger in a glass. Yeah, we'll just do it in a little, he's headed down into the glass. I don't know what he's getting out of glass, but he's going to get something out of the old-fashioned Coke glass. Yep, that one. Mine were green when I was growing up. And it has like these little ribby things right there. Like that. Now Coke doesn't look like that. I mean, we need like a gray, but I don't have a gray here. It's black. So I guess I'll just do, oh, that's not good. I don't like that. And I guess I'm going back with this color. The caramel Coke. You know, Coke actually is clear. You know, there's no real brown in here. I could be merging all of these to make a real color. Oh, and I'm going to do little circles because I don't want a perfect little line at the top. You know what I really want, though? because I want it all fizzled out. Oh my word. You know what this funk reminds me of? For those of you who are musicians, it's like constantly playing dissonance. I'm not a musician, I just know the word. You've got, like, in your life, you've got the crescendos and the decrescendos, and the crescendos make you feel things are going up, and the decrescendos make you feel things are going down. And then if you're playing on a piano or something, you hit two keys right next to each other that don't sound good together. It's not like a chord where it sounds all good. You've got like the, I don't know, dissonance is the only word that's coming to mind. And so he's going to be hooking something in there. Oh my gosh, you know what we should do? Is this little cat doesn't even have a body. Let's go back into our little cat. We forgot to finish off our cat. It's like a little body. An inappropriately long neck. And it folds out to his little feetsies. And I'm going to hide his body behind here, because I'm just going to do like his little feetsies here. Throw that up there. Yep. And his little foot. The other little one's right there hidden behind it. See, you don't have to see the whole body. And the other side of his little neck is inappropriately sized. Behind the fizzle. You can't even see him there. He's got his little tail coming up. See, maybe I'm not. And maybe it's not an illusion. There was a little bit that happened there. Let's send it there. My silly little cat. So you gotta have a little bit of a shadow from his neck there, because that's what I feel like doing. Should he have a collar? So we'll give him a little collar. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put some of the happy colors in here. Put like blue eyes. And his little ear. Screw the happy colors. We're going back into this. That's what I feel like. And see, that one's turned, so you can't see how that one flips in there, but I'll put a little bit of it in there. So my sassy cat is all fizzled out. Oh my gosh, I just broke it. This is one of my handwritings when I go back and you do a handwriting analysis. Do you ever write and you can see what kind of mood you're in when you were writing? Yeah, I do that sometimes. The little cats. Let's do something inside of these green little things. We'll have it be yellow in the body of these circles. And green from the bottom left. Much better once you add the water, but I'm just going to do it this way. It's going to be okay. All right, so what other doodles? Nothing has to happen related to tools or vehicles for someone to have a screw loose in our house. That's funny. That's funny. See, now I'm doing the edgy stuff. You can tell this isn't fully getting me out of the funk. I was hopeful. It may work better when you're doing it kind of in your own space, on your own time, without the expectations of doing something wonderful for someone else. And let's say you make a cat and your cat looks nothing like a cat. It doesn't matter. You know, you're making an umbrella and you wanted it to look different. It looks how it wants to look. It is what it is, right? So let's take this blue back in here. Get some more of our happy color. Enough of the funk color. Toss all the funk colors aside. I'm only going to work with blues and yellows. My word, hold your britches. So just in case you want to make fudge, he's at the grocery store and he's wondering if I wanted to do condensed milk fudge, the easy fudge. Oh my word. You know what the answer is? No. So if you have sweetened condensed milk, like a can of that stuff, and you have chocolate that's not milk chocolate, you know, milk chocolate, it doesn't set. But you can make the easiest fudge you've ever made. Now, I personally like to do it on the stove, but I know some people like to do their fudge when I melt my chocolate. I like to melt my chocolate on a stove in a double boiler. But I do know that some people like to do it in the microwave. And so you can just do it in the microwave. But I would only do it at 30-second intervals, or preferably probably 15-second intervals. So you like do it for 30 seconds and you mix a package of semi-sweet chocolate pieces, whatever those little, the kind you make cookies with. Anyway, how did I get on a recipe? That stuff is freaking fabulous. Yeah. But I don't feel like making fudge. All right, we've got our fizzled out cat. Can't even tell. Let me just make this glass a little blue like this. Cartouche. All right, what do we want to do with this right here? Probably gonna color in the other side of this yellow. These colors remind me of the 70s. Is it just me? Are you kind of feeling the 70s on this today? You know, you can just picture going in there with a shag carpet. Those ridiculous looking bathroom sinks. Almost should give the cat some giant lapels. I ended up not even using my markers. All right, let's bring some joy to these colors. Let's just trace over the squiggles. I actually like when things have two layers of color like that because they kind of blend a little together. I think it looks better. I don't think I want to do stars in blue. Well, this ear and there's a little bit of yellow too. What a silly little card. You too, Arlene. Take care. Hey there, Tori. I just feel like it needs something. You know what it needs. It needs something on the right side of this, on the inside of the circle. That's what it needs. And I think it just needs, does it need to be yellow or blue? You could just do one of those things where you just swoopy it however you feel like it, but I don't feel like it, so I'm just going to draw it down the middle. The answer was blue. It would have been easier to draw my little straight line if I'd have thought of it that way. And just color that in. And if I was doing this on my own time, not a single bit of this color would have been a straight line. So I need to get true to myself and not color for you guys, but color for me instead, because I would have just squiggled it like this all over the place. Is what I would have done. So I'm just going to do that with you guys because I know that's what I would have done. 90% of the time, these things don't end up as being a card to someone, but it happens sometimes. So if you're a junk journaler, this is like one of those things you can put on one of your pages. I buy journals from people on occasion. I actually like to fill those journals with my own art. So I'm done with something like this on my own, in my own world. That's what I do. So, yeah. Edge it harshly. I'm not going to worry about the cat's foot on the other side, just his tail. My coat hanger needs to be a little more burly. You can actually see there's a coat hanger on either side. Helps to be on the right side, right? So when you color and you're choosing the colors that are your happy colors, so just asking the folks here, what is one of the colors that is one of your, if I'm using this color, I know it's a color that doesn't put me in a bad mood. What's one of your happy colors? And yes, that's a question to all of you. No passive viewers here. Active viewers answering the dang question. Let's give a little shadow there to his whiskers. not a one-person answer, or is that just the 20-second delay? Y'all just want to be voyeurs in my sorrows of funk. Yeah, you just be your voyeurs in my sorrows of funk. I'll see. I'll see. I think color is powerful. I truly do. I think that when you have a better understanding of where your emotions fall on the color spectrum, it's a great exercise. You know, you just sit there and you look at every single one of them and you ask yourself, how do I feel when I use this color? And ask it for real. Don't just be phony about it. Ask yourself how you feel. How do I feel when I go in circles versus straight lines? The answer is you don't necessarily always know. You know. Let's get back into the gray. I said I wasn't going to use it anymore, but I am. I just want to send it here. Don't know what I want it to be, but I really am thinking of that shag carpet of the 70s, and I just wanted that ugly green shag carpet of the 70s. And that's what I want. You know, I'm just going to keep drawing these dang straight lines until it's nearly filled in, so you might as well. Oh, muted rose and violet. Those are your happy colors. I like that. Now, if you do this often enough, sometimes you'll find it's meditative, you know? You'll find that sometimes when you're doing them, you start to see more about your mood. Let's say you've done 50 of these, where you just draw whatever you feel like drawing, whatever words pop in your head, whatever shape you feel like. And it doesn't even, like I said, it doesn't have to be a cat. It's just I started talking about the dang cat ears. I have no idea. See, I have no idea how the cat in the soda flies in, but you know, it's like when you're in your dream space. You know, it doesn't matter. What matters is you just start listening and doing whatever your brain says you want to do. That's what matters. But I find that when I do enough of these, I'm gonna see how deep my funk is because I notice where the weight of it is, and it's probably not so much my happy colors. You know. I hope you all are. Ooh, coppers and browns. Those are fabulous. Oof. Blues and greens. You know, I know lots of people when I get into conversations with folks and we talk about colors in general and which moods bring joy, I often hear blue and green. And you know, I feel like if Earth was to do this exercise for themselves where they just randomly draw whatever goes into their mind, I feel like Earth would also say the same thing, that they love their blues and greens. Because if you think about it, pretty much what's out there. Lots of blues and greens. I'm making the line messy, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I shouldn't have drawn the straight line. I should have just drawn the darn carpet. I know. That's so awesome. Oh, that's awesome. The shag carpet, lime green and bright orange. That's fabulous. All right. Well, I don't feel like these things are ever done. unless they're colored in. So I'm just going to circle color them because I know I prefer the circles over the lines. You guys who prefer the lines over the circles, go do that. Did I say lime or did I say lime? I think I said lime, didn't I? With the lime and the coconut. So I picked up the mail and all the donations yesterday and went through, sorted where everything goes. And as I was going through one of the boxes, I came across something. Tim Hart. Hold your britches, y'all. He gave me the funnel cloud warning. Do you guys see this? I did every other one, and I have an uneven number, so there's 2 there. If I was smarter about it, I would have gone around this way, and there wouldn't have been an uneven number. But that's okay. No one's going to notice that it's right next to the line. It's 2 of the same. Not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. All right, so let's give myself some yellow over on this side. You know, the rays of sunshine, which is supposed to make me feel better, and I'm doing all these lines, right? But that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a bunch of lines. Dagnabbit. Oh. Our area is ripe for a tornado right now because of the wind directions. A lot of people don't know that there's certain parts of Florida that are risky with those and the way that the stuff changes. It's not mountain related, obviously, because as my husband would say, the highest elevation, which is the truth, the highest elevation in Florida is a hotel in Miami. All right, well, lines are done on that side. I feel like I want to put some yellow over here just because it needs to shade the little brightness that goes out. All right, so what's going on over here? What are we going to do on this side? I really don't know. I don't want to leave it just white. It's done being white. I know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to squiggle it. Oh my gosh, I pressed too hard. Not going to worry about it. I'm going to squiggle it. It's still white, but it was just too much white, right? And then I'm going to put a little dot on either side of my little bubble. Then I think I'm going to call this little piece of work with my 50 phone calls from the hubs. I think I'm going to call this little piece of work finito. just need to have that down low, nice and hard and messy. Put some yellow in the carpet. Because I feel like it, that's why. All right, my little piece of I had no idea what was going to end up on the paper is down there. I'll be happy about it. And we'll sign blue. You know, I never know what to sign my name. Do you guys ever do that? So many people are so official on what they sign their name. It's always exactly the same thing. But I'm just signing a bunch of different ways. That's it. So with that, I'll let you guys be. And oh, what did I come across in the donations yesterday? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't say that out loud. So there is a box. Let me see. I'm gonna show you real quick. Dagnabbit, I didn't bring it upstairs, but I ordered it. There's a box of, do you guys remember when Kay and Company made those to-go boxes that look like Chinese takeout? You know, and they were about this big and they were filled with words or tags or phrases or whatever. And it was all just boatloads of little tags, words, and phrases. Well, I got rid of mine a long time ago, and literally, it's the one thing I regret. Well, there's two things I've regretted, but it's one of them. And I could not remember what it was called, so I couldn't order them. And in my fashion, I didn't want to order it for just me. I wanted to order it for all the Heartists because you can just grab them, pick them out, and I'll show you what it is real quick. I was so freaking excited that I knew what it was called, so I knew what to order. Give me a second, and I will show you an example of what they are. That is what I'm talking about. How cool is that someone donated words to go, and it reminded me that what I did for so long was tags to go, and I went online on eBay and ordered them, and they are so freaking cool. It's a to-go box of tags, and I guarantee you they don't make them anymore because now things are not sold in such a big package, but now when I go to make kits, I can just grab a pinch and they will get their random words and random colors or random tags or random letters because a bunch of them. And it will be very useful moving forward. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And it'll be used in kits, not just for Heartists, but whenever I make kits, I'll have them in the kit room in case I need a pinch of words. And I love the randomness in them, inspiration in them, and they just make me happy. And so, should I put this on here somewhere? Cover up, fizzled out? No. Right there would be good. I could cover up the Coca-Cola bottle. No. Well, that's not so bad right there, but no. The answer is no. And now I don't know which side it goes on. Dagnabbit. I'm assuming it's this side because it's waxy looking. All right. With that said, love and hugs, everyone. Hope you had fun. And I hope you all try it yourself, right? Whatever the image is that comes to mind, or the shape is that comes to mind, the color is that makes you feel certain ways, grab those colors and separate the colors. Even the act of separating the colors takes your mind into that space of listening to yourself. So hopefully you enjoyed the process. Love and hugs, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.